There's so many car review channels out there, it's difficult to know which one to watch. And they're great for helping you decide on which car you want to go for. But once you've got the car, which one shows you how to actually get the best out of it? Hello and welcome to my channel, where I show you all the functions and features of your new car. My name's Dave and I sell Skodas. Today we have the Skoda Elroq, the all-new electric vehicle. This is the 85 edition with the Plus pack added on as well in the Meteor Grey. Now, to open the car, a single click on the unlock button will unlock the driver's door. You'll see the indicators flash and the mirrors will unfold automatically. A double click will unlock all the doors, and if you press and hold the unlock button, you'll see, as long as you keep it held down, the windows will wind down, handy for those hot summer days. Press the lock button once to lock the car, indicators flash, mirrors fold in. Press and hold the lock button and windows will go back up. You also have keyless entry on this one, so put your hand just behind the handle to unlock, and then against the little dimple on the back there to lock it again. With your car unlocked, you can press on the back here to open up your charging port, and in here you can see you've got a light and a key to what the light means. A pulsing green light means that your car is charging. A flashing green light means that your car is on a timer, is waiting to start the charging cycle. Solid green light means it has finished the charging cycle up to 80% or 100% or wherever you've set it to. A pulsing white light, that just means it's thinking. If there is a red light, it means it is not charging, there is an error. And you've got the standard charger port there, and you can take this cap off if you want to make use of the fast charger public network. Coming up to the boot, there's three ways to open it up. There's the button underneath the O of Skoda just to the left of your reversing camera. You can press and hold the boot button on the key and that will pop your boot open. Or if you've got the virtual pedal, you can wave your foot underneath it and then stand back. Inside the boot there's some handy features. You've got the hooks that fold out to secure your shopping, 12-volt socket there, some additional storage in either side. This little bag here contains your wheel locking nut and your puncture repair kit. You also have a little bit of room underneath the boot floor for a cable. Or if you've got the Plus pack, that gives you this handy net on the bottom of the parcel shelf which you can use to store your cable as well. Something that's new to the Elroq is if you take your parcel shelf off, you can then move it down to have a different level in there. Now, closing the boot, much the same as opening it, except you've got a button on the boot here, or you can use the kick activation or the key again. Inside the passenger side, you've got your passenger airbag control. And to do that, press the button on the side of the key here. That will then release your physical key, and you can just put that in and turn it to activate and deactivate the passenger airbag. You also have your bonnet release catch. To get into the bonnet, you've got this lever here, so just put your fingers in and slide it to the left. You can then lift the bonnet up and then the support goes in the hole next to the arrow there. In here you will find coolant. You do still need coolant for the batteries, and then your brake fluid in there. On this side you'll find your windscreen wash, 12-volt auxiliary battery and the fuse box. Inside the driver's door you should find your Skoda umbrella tucked away in there. And you have your mirror controls on here, left and right, heated mirror function, and you can fold your mirrors in. More about the mirrors a little later. You'll then find your electric windows front and rear, and then child locks for the rear doors. If you have an electric boot, pull this button once and that will pop your boot open. And if you pull and hold it, as long as you're keeping it held, it will lower your boot and close it for you. Stepping into the car, and you'll see everything start to come to life. Sitting in the car is the equivalent of putting your key in the ignition and giving it a turn. Then if I put my foot on the brake, you'll see everything's on. And this is the equivalent of starting your engine. Your virtual cockpit here has three distinct sections, and these are controlled using the right hand side of the steering wheel, the right and left buttons here. If you press the right button, it will open up this side a bit more, where you can see your route guidance. If you put destination in, it will tell you your next direction. Press the right button again, it now comes up with your driving information. If you click the roller here, it will switch between since start, long term, and since charging information. Press the right button again, pulls up the route guidance again. The left button pulls up all three, and then press it again, and you've got your front assist, adaptive cruise control, and travel assist features on the left when they are turned on. To activate either of those features, you've got the button here. You need to make sure that this lever is switched to the on position. You can now choose between travel assist, adaptive cruise control, and speed limiter. Do that by pressing the assist button and then using the roller to switch between each one. To make use of the adaptive cruise control, travel assist and speed limiter, press set at the desired speed. You can then increase your speed and decrease your speed. You can cancel and resume. You also, if you've got the adaptive cruise control, can change the distance between you and the vehicle in front. It gives you a little indication on the bottom there of how far or close you will follow the vehicle in front. Coming to the left-hand side, you have your media control. You can go up and down on the volume. You can tap to mute and unmute, and skip between radio stations and music tracks using the arrow buttons. Heated steering wheel, press once for full power. You do get a little heated steering wheel symbol in the middle of the dash. Press twice, goes to medium, 3 times for low, and 4th time turns it off. You also have Laura, your onboard voice assistant. Behind the steering wheel on the right, we've got your windscreen wipers. Once down will give your single wipe, and then you have your automatic rain sensitive wipers. You can adjust the sensitivity from low sensitivity to high sensitivity using the rocker on the top. You then have a standard low speed and high speed. Pull it towards you and that will squirt the windscreen, away from you to activate the rear wiper, and all the way back to squirt the rear window. On the left hand side, you've got your indicators, convenience turn signal, which will flash 3 times, or you can push it all the way and it's good until cancelled. Pull it towards you, I'll flash your high beam, push it away from you, and that will either activate your high beam or your matrix lights. This car has the matrix lights on, so you'll see instead of a blue light there, you see the white light with the A inside. The matrix lights will automatically blank out various areas of the high beam when it's dark and there's oncoming traffic or bright signs or anything like that. On the right here, you've got your rear fog lights. Press that to turn it on. It does give you an alert on there to say on and off. Now your lights are automatic and they'll switch between daytime running lights and low beam when it gets dark. If you're on a bright day but it's a bit drizzly, perhaps there's a lot of spray and you want your rear lights on, you can put on the poor weather light by clicking that button. And then if you click the auto button, if you want full control, you can switch between auto, dipped beam, side lights, and off. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please do hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well for future updates. And if there's anything in particular you would like me to cover, pop it in the comments below. At the top of the car here, you've got an SOS button hidden under here. If you press that red SOS button, the car will dial 999. And the car has its own inbuilt SIM card and speaker and microphone that we use to connect you with the emergency services. If your airbags go off in an accident, the car will also dial 999 for you. Your lights here are touch activated. Just touch the glass to turn them on and off. You then have the light button here, which will turn both on and off for you, and whether you want them to turn on when you open the doors or not. The I button here is to do with the infotainment screen. If you want to have any advice on the infotainment screen, you can press the I button, and again the inbuilt SIM card will be used to phone Skoda help desk and they'll be able to talk you through anything that you need. The spanner button is your breakdown call button. You get 3 years Skoda Assist with any new vehicle. Press that and the car will dial Skoda Assist for you. On the infotainment screen, you can press and hold the power button for a second to turn it off. And when it's off, you'll see that you still have access to the heated seats and temperature for both driver and passenger. And underneath you have various buttons on here. If you press the assist button, this will pull up all of your driver assist settings. There's quite a lot of assist settings on here. Lane assist, a bit Marmite, some people love it, some people hate it. I urge you to give it a try on the new Skoda Elroq. It is much improved from previous lane assists. If you do want to turn it off, you can click there. It is as simple as that. And lane assist will activate at around 37 miles an hour and keep you away from the curbs and the white lines in the middle of the road, unless you're indicating to cross over the lines. And you can have steering wheel vibration on or off as you wish. Speed warning, again, easy to turn off. And you can either have it do a display where it flashes at you, or display and a sound. The warning threshold can be set at the speed limit, 3 miles an hour over or 5 miles an hour over. And you can also have it make a sound every time you go from one speed zone to another. The attention monitor is active here. You can have an audible warning and adjust the sensitivity of that in here. And then you have your drowsiness monitor, and again the sensitivity can be adjusted. Front assist is your emergency braking while going forwards. Say someone pulls out in front of you, slams on the brakes, the car will assist you in braking, and if you do end up swerving to avoid an accident, give you support to remain in control of the vehicle. Your adaptive cruise control, you can either have it set to the last distance that you have selected using the rocker on the switch, or you can have it default to close, medium or far. The adaptive cruise control will react to the speed limit and speed up and slow down as needed. And then you also have the road layout response, so it will adapt based on how twisty the roads are. Speed limiter can also be made to react to the speed limits. Your Eco Assist, if you're coming down a hill, you might take your foot off the accelerator but not be using the brakes. If you get towards a junction or getting too close to the vehicle in front, the car will automatically start braking for you to put as much power back into that battery as possible. You can turn that function off in here. And then your side assist or blind spot detection is on, and you can adjust the intensity of the warning lights. You then have a mode button here. Press that and you'll see it comes up with Eco, Normal, Sport and Individual, and you just click the mode button to cycle between each one. The park button can be used to turn on your front and rear sensors and your reversing camera, and also turn them off. If you're in a drive-through, for example, waiting by the window for your coffee, you can turn the beepers off so that they don't annoy you. You also have a wide angle camera on here, handy for getting out of those tight spaces. Hazard lights, and then lock and unlock the doors, and then you have 3 climate control buttons on here. Rear window heater, front window blowers, that will put the blowers on maximum power on the windscreen for you. And then if you click climate, it comes up with your options. Now usually the fan speed will be automatic. If you're finding it's not powerful enough, you can switch it to low, switch it to high, or if it's too powerful, you can switch it to low. And what the blowers will do is they'll blow hard to achieve a temperature and then slow down to maintain a temperature. You can increase and decrease the fan speed on here, and also using the voice control, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Underneath the buttons, you'll see 2 USB-C ports. These are for fast charging phones. You also have a wireless phone charging pad on the driver's side. Cup holders here, you can move this to the middle to have 2 equal sized cups, or if you've got a slightly larger one, you can move it to the side to create a bigger space. You also have room for a parking ticket in there. For the gears, foot on the brake and pull down. That'll put it into drive mode. Press the accelerator to go, press the brake to slow down and stop. You also have a regen mode or B mode. This is one pedal driving, so you put your foot on the accelerator to accelerate, and as you take your foot off the accelerator, you'll get an engine braking effect, which will slow you down. Push it up into reverse all the way at the top, and you'll see your front and rear sensors and reversing camera come up automatically. And then pull all the way down to put it back into the drive mode. If you put the car into neutral, it will ask you if you want to deactivate rollaway protection. The only time you'd want to use neutral is if you're being towed onto the back of a recovery van and they need to release the brakes for that. To take it out of gear, pull the P lever up with your foot on the brake. You'll see it comes out of gear and the car will start to shut down. To turn the infotainment back on, just press and hold the power button for a second. And you'll see this is the home screen, which you'll access by the little home button on the bottom right of the screen. To edit the home screen, press and hold anywhere on the screen. This will open up the edit menu and you can change what's in each square by clicking what you want to see in each one. Once you're finished, press done and it will save it for you. On the bottom left, we have all of your apps. Air conditioning, which does the same as pushing the climate button, which I showed you earlier. And then we have Laura, who is your onboard voice assistant. If you click activation, you'll see that you can activate Laura with voice control by saying either of these two phrases here, or set your own activation command by pressing the microphone. And there's all sorts of things you can do, which you'll see in the tips. Your basic functions in here, natural speech recognition, all the things you can do. Your navigation, making phone calls, changing the media. The one I use all the time is air conditioning. So, for example, okay, Laura, I'm too cold.
No problem. It will get warmer at the front right shortly.
And you'll see that it is turn the heating up by a degree. And then under settings, you've got whether it's got dialogue sound or not, whether you can take calls without an activation word, and the voice, male or female. Back into the apps menu, and you'll now see users. This is where you'll go to set yourself up with the My Skoda app. My Skoda, all one word, can be downloaded from the App Store, and you'll use this to connect your phone remotely to the car and give you remote access for things like the preconditioning of the aircon and charging times and things like that. Loads of handy features in there, so make sure you do download that if you have an Elroq. The sound menu, you'll see your equalizer, position of the sound focus, and then your volume settings. Under settings, you've got the screen settings at the top, and you've got different backgrounds that you can choose from. Whether you want a screensaver when the infotainment's off or a complete blank screen. We go to connection, you'll see your Wi-Fi and mobile devices. You can add and remove mobiles on there. Further information for your system information and copyright, and then a handy configuration wizard. This one's quite good for setting the car up for the first time how you would like it. Tips and help. This is a bit like an onboard manual. You can go in there to look at various different things to learn about how to use the car, a bit more in depth than what I'm going through in the video. Information about software in there. Power Pass map, this is where you'll go to look for charging stations. Service scheduling is in that one, and the shop. If you are connected as a main user through the app, you can access the shop and download additional packs for the vehicle. Swipe across, any warranty recalls will come through on service campaigns, and once you've set up the app again, under special offers, you'll get special offers come through on there. Legal information, app updates, and then traffication, which is your traffic and travel updates. The next button is for your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Press that button to connect via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. We then have your sat-nav, a search menu there to select a destination, map orientation, charging stations, and settings. The easiest way to connect your phone is to click the phone button. Make sure your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi is on, and search for My Skoda followed by the code on there. Connect by following the instructions on your phone and your car screens. It will then prompt you to connect via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay if your phone has that capability. capability. Media is on this one. You've got a now playing, which shows what's currently playing. You can set favorites. So if you're currently listening to a radio station, want to shortcut to it, you can press and hold to make that one a favorite. If you want to add more favorites, just keep pressing the pluses as they appear as you go along. You can access your phone's media through here or through the Apple CarPlay Android Auto button. At the top, we've got various symbols. This one is for your privacy settings, and then your user settings. The clock brings up the clock settings, and then you have these 5 buttons here followed by a car. These 5 buttons are hotkeys. You can see we've got lane assist at the top there, preheating, windscreen heating, part of the plus pack, automatic hold on the handbrake, and charging settings. If you want to edit these, press and hold. You can then select from 3 pages worth of screens what you would like to see on your hotkeys at the top. And press done once you're happy. The vehicle settings menu, we start with vehicle, and this is where you'll go for all of your vehicle settings. You've got vehicle, status, and data down the side. We start at the top on vehicle. We've got exterior. Here we can use our mirror settings, and the mirrors will adjust in sync. If you adjust the right mirror, it will adjust the left mirror by the same amount at the same time. If you adjust your left mirror, it only adjusts your left mirror. And the mirrors will fold in automatically when locking. You can turn that off if you're expecting heavy ice build-up to protect the motors in the mirrors. Headlight controls on here. You've got your dynamic light assist. This one does have the matrix lights, being that it has the plus pack and the dynamic cornering light. You've got your sensitivity there. And travel mode, if you go to the continent, you can switch that to driving on the right or driving on the left if you're in the UK. Comfort light, you've got your light animation on. So the lights will come on when you approach the car. And coming home and leaving home function, this is how long your headlights will stay on for when unlocking the car and when leaving the car. Then your tail lights animation, you can either have them pulse or fly in when you unlock the car. Tyres, you can set your tyre pressure loss indicator. So if you adjust the pressure of your tyres, you'll need to go into here and press the set button to reset these sensors. You can also set a speed warning if you put winter tyres on that have a maximum speed limit on them. Swipe across and you've got the second menu. The brakes, you've got the electronic stability control or your traction control, which is active. Roll away protection, that's when you put the car into neutral. If you need to deactivate that, you can do that through here. And your auto hold, which I've got as a shortcut as the top. If you don't want the auto hold on the brake, you can turn that off there. Easy open is your kick activation on the boot. For your windows, you've got convenience opening, where you press and hold the key fob to open and close all the windows. And your opening and closing, you've got keyless entry. The vehicle can lock away when you walk away from it if you wish, and unlock when you approach it. And you can have an acoustic warning if it does not lock as you walk away. Door unlocking can be set so that if you put your hand behind the handle or click the unlock button once, it only unlocks the single door, that side of the vehicle, or all the doors. And then your easy open, again, is your kick activation on the boot. Last menu on this one, you've got your wipers. The wipers will wipe automatically in the rain, provided you put it to that first intermittent function. Rear wiper will wipe if your car detects that there is rain and you put the car in reverse, it will wipe the rear window for you. And you can put the wipers into the service position on there or through here to change wiper blades. You then have the interior menus, where you've got the interior lighting, where you can adjust the intensity of the display, and your driving data for your since start long term, you can reset that. We go into status. What we want to see is a couple of ticks there. If If you click service, this will tell you how long until your next service is due. And then tyres, another way to get to the tyre pressure reset for the sensors. And then under data, you'll find your since start long term and since charging. Back into the vehicle settings menu, and you've got the charging menu available through the app as well. If you know you've got a long journey tomorrow, slide that across to 100% to charge to 100%. It's recommended that you charge to 80% for your regular day-to-day usage. You've got optimize as well. Especially on cold days, the battery won't charge very quickly at all. So what you want to do is press the optimize button, which will be just here on a colder day, and you can do that before you come up towards a charging station to optimize the battery so that it'll charge as quickly as it can. And then locations, you can add positions as charging locations. Assist systems, we've done that one through the physical buttons, as well as parking and driving profile. Stationary air conditioning is one of the best things about an electric vehicle. You can set the temperature and then set departure times. If we come into the first one, we know that on Friday I'm going to be leaving the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. I can set it there and then tick the box there, and now it will heat up or cool down to my set temperature, ready for 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Alternatively, you can set it to repeat and say, if you say you're an office person, you leave the house at 7 in the morning, Monday to Friday, you can set it like so, and it will go off ready for you for your morning journey. Back into the vehicle menu, and then you have your background lighting. You can have individual, where you customize it yourself, or you can click mood for shortcuts, where you can have different colors and backgrounds. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. If you've got any friends who are looking at the Elroq, do send this video to them, and pop a comment in the box below on which feature you think is the best on the Skodas. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.